Now, with that housekeeping done, we hand the floor over to Dr. Sood to begin today's deep dive.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Anupha Sood, and I lead the Total Care Program for Parkinson's disease here at the O'Donnell Brain Institute at UT Southwestern. The Total Care Program delivers educational resources and personalized care, as well as some supportive community to Parkinson's families as they're navigating the Parkinson's disease journey. To participate in our events, you can write to me or Janice. You can visit our website. And anytime you register, you are added to our participant registry, and we send you regular communication about the program. Before we begin, I also want to thank our generous donors who make this educational programming possible and the Total Care Program possible. And now I am delighted to welcome Dallas Area Parkinson Society and Leisha Phipps, who is the executive director, and Keisha Hill and their team, who has been supporting and giving us so much input as we develop this program here. We have used their expertise and their experience and see them as wonderful partners and friends for the Total Care Program. Leisha Hills and Leisha Phipps and Keisha Hills and the entire DAPS team are dedicated and committed to expanding services for people with Parkinson's in the Dallas area. So I welcome them and thank them for all the wonderful work that they've been doing here. I look forward to listening to what all you have to offer and how our patients and our families may be able to utilize your resources. Thank you, Leisha and Keisha.
Thank you so much, Anuba. It has been such a pleasure getting to know Anuba the last year and a half, and the great work that she is doing for the Total Care Program, and working together and collaboratively allows us all to just better serve the Parkinson's community. So it's an honor to be here. And I think, as Janice mentioned, please jump in if anyone has questions or comments, and myself or Keisha will be able to answer those questions to the best of our ability. So with that, I guess we will go ahead and get started. So we really like to start off just by sharing just some of the basic statistics of Parkinson's disease. These statistics are actually a little bit old. Sadly, these numbers are slightly low. So the numbers that you're looking at, just recently, the Parkinson's Foundation came out with a new research study that's actually showing that there are now up to 90,000 people every year diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. So those are the most current numbers, 90,000. Now, Parkinson's disease is actually the fastest growing neurological condition. So that is still behind the number of people that have been diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease, but Parkinson's is the fastest growing in terms of diagnosis. And so with that, we understand that it's even more important for us as a community to make sure we are reaching people within the North Texas area so that people understand that there are so many excellent resources within our community. So these are some numbers worldwide when we think about Parkinson's disease. And so for DAPS, for the Dallas Area Parkinson Society, of course, we're primarily focused on Dallas, Denton, and Collin County. So these are numbers that give you just an idea of the number of people in our community that are dealing with Parkinson's. Now, this is not including the family and the caregivers and the spouses that are also a part of those communities as well, who we also know definitely need that support and resources as well. So there are a lot of folks out there. I can tell you that our work is never done, although this year we've done a lot of expanding. Just by looking at these numbers, you can see that there are a lot of folks out there that don't know about all the different resources, such as movement disorder experts, free exercise classes, free support groups, and things of that nature. So as we mentioned, it is our goal to make sure we're extending our reach and awareness to the whole community. So I'd like to share a video because this is actually from some of our members, and I think these are folks that really will give you a better idea of exactly how important DAPS has been in their life and the myriad of services that we offer.
I was misdiagnosed a couple of times from a couple of different neurologists and had no idea that there was something called a movement specialist in neurology. As soon as my new neurologist, Dr. Pavasia, gave me the news, well, at first, it hit you pretty hard, but then I decided, how do I jump in? Feet first, do whatever I can do, learn whatever I can learn, do what I'm told. And so he said, contact DAPS, and they have a myriad of programs.
One of my colleagues referred me to DAPS, saying that she had heard great reviews about the support group and how loving and caring everybody was. So I just jumped on it and called DAPS, and the rest is history. Surround yourself with loving, caring, and very inspiring and positive people who not only offer you a helping hand, but who understand your dilemmas, who understand your limitations. What I like mostly about the educational series is the updated research that they share with us, all of us. We are always looking for ways to improve the quality of our lives, to lessen the symptoms, and to hopefully learn something that we could use. And those educational series always help me fulfill all those goals.
I didn't realize that I had Parkinson's for several years. And I went to my doctor, Dr. Cheatham, and he said, well, go see Dr. Pavasia. He made me walk down a corridor, and then he also had me do a few more things. And he said, I'd like you to have a DEXA scan. Well, I didn't really like that idea, so I put it off for a year. And then the second year, my doctor very patiently said, go back again. And I did. And sure enough, I had Parkinson's. Well, that began a series of events, which I'm very happy to report were almost miraculous. A tremendous journey, really.
We're all a little different, and we all have little different maladies, symptoms, and DAPS was the one place where I was able to get all of that information and then move forward with it.
So I hope that some of our members gave you a little bit of a feel for how DAPS can be a part of the journey with Parkinson's. Each person is in a very different place, and we honor and respect that. But because everyone is in a different stage of the disease, whether it's early on or later on, we take great pride in making sure that we are getting the most up-to-date and the very best resources available for anyone on that journey. So I'm going to move on to some of the things that we really encourage folks that call us for the first time. Oftentimes we'll get phone calls with, I've just learned that I was diagnosed with Parkinson's. Sometimes we get calls of, like you saw Jeff in the video that says, I was diagnosed a couple of years ago and I'm just now kind of ready to embrace this diagnosis. And so anyone who answers the phone with DAPS is well qualified to be able to support and listen and provide the resources that are most helpful. So we encourage people, once they've received that diagnosis, whether it's a care partner or the individual with the diagnosis, to contact DAPS so that we can begin to walk through a lot of those options. The next thing we really encourage people to do is to find a movement disorder expert. Many folks have been diagnosed with their primary care physician or their neurologist. And if that is a good relationship, then we absolutely support that. We do recommend that once a year visit with a movement disorder expert is really important. A lot of those, the local movement disorder experts are on the DAPS Medical Advisory Board, including several at UT Southwestern, like Dr. O'Sullivan and Dr. Paradian. So we certainly encourage folks to make good use of those who have that additional expertise. We really encourage people also to connect with others. Some of the most recent studies are actually showing us that for folks that isolate and are decreasing the amount of time that they're getting out with people or connecting with other people, whether that's virtually or in person, that the risk of depression and the lifespan is actually shortened. And so we know how important that is, and we also understand how difficult that can be. And we'll get into that a little bit later in the presentation, because Parkinson's can provide a lot of non-motor symptoms, such as apathy, anxiety, and depression. That's not the case for everyone, but we are aware of that. And because those are symptoms that folks might experience, we really encourage people to connect with a community. And DAPS offers lots of communities that we'll talk more about in a minute. Lastly, of course, is exercise. If you have not already heard this from your doctor, your neurologist, or your PT, you will be hearing this a lot. The reason for that is because exercise is so important. It is actually shown that that is the one treatment that has been shown to slow the progression of Parkinson's. So medication, of course, is important. Of course, PT is important, and speech and OT, but regular exercise is really critical. And so we absolutely encourage folks to take part in these parts of their treatment. Any questions so far before I move on? Okay. So what I've done is I've tried to really divide DAPS into the categories of services that we provide all throughout North Texas. So that's Dallas, Denton, and Collin County. Because Keisha is our events manager and she manages all of our educational programs, I'm going to turn this part over to her so she can talk a little bit more about the value of our educational programs.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I'm Keisha Hill. I am the DAPS events manager. So I manage pretty much all of our ongoing educational series and various events throughout the year. We try to get our members together, whether it be through education or a member-wide event such as our symposium or our Lifetime Achievement Award. Monthly, we provide an educational series. They are free of charge. They are a lunch and learn format. So I always start it off with a great lunch. And then we have a speaker who is an expert in Parkinson's disease. They are once a month, and we offer them in the cities of Dallas, Denton, Duncanville, Garland, and McKinney. The speakers that I try to incorporate for our monthly educational series are movement disorder specialists, therapists who specialize in Parkinson's or aging populations, different, like I said, therapists, movement disorder specialists, nurses, anyone who are experts in the field of Parkinson's disease. So I encourage everyone to come out. Even if you already know what the speakers are going to discuss, I learn something new every single time. It's a time for community. It's a time for connection. And dare I say, it's a time for fun too. I always come out with just enjoying everyone and hearing our speakers and learning such a great deal about Parkinson's. So I encourage everyone to come out and enjoy, and it's free.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Keisha.
Mm-hmm.
So other things that Keisha also manages are our other community events. So coming up on October 5th is our free and annual symposium. This is great for folks that are brand new to Parkinson's, but again, even those that have been on the journey for years. Saturday, October 5th at Lovers Lane United Methodist Church. This is a free event that we will provide breakfast and lunch. And again, we will provide a comprehensive presentation by experts in the field of Parkinson's. So as Keisha mentioned, we bring all these folks together, but we bring new folks so that the monthly presenters are different from those that you will see at the symposium. We cover everything from nutrition to speech to physical therapy to the difference between men and women. This year's lineup is absolutely looking to be one of our absolute best. So we certainly hope that you'll take advantage of that. Also throughout the year, we provide a holiday lunch and volunteer celebration. Just as Keisha said, we understand that that you are more than Parkinson's disease. That is one part of your life, but certainly not one's identity. And we believe that, and we carry that out by ensuring that we are providing fun times so that we can celebrate one another, who we are, even outside of Parkinson's. So our holiday lunch and volunteer celebration is every December. And then in April, during Parkinson's Awareness Month, we offer another free event, our Lifetime Achievement and Award ceremony that is typically held at Highland Park Methodist Church. That is also an inspirational presentation by someone that is selected within the community with a nice lunch as well. So lots of opportunities to become involved with DAPS. So I wanted just to go ahead and share in case you haven't received this information. And certainly you can also sign up for our newsletter as well at daps.org. And all of this information will be available. So you'll see here a lot of the folks that will be presenting during our symposium. As I mentioned, on Saturday, October 5th. We encourage you and your friends or family to join us on this day. Also, in October, we are hosting our quarterly Ask the Nutritionist program. What makes this unique and has become a really popular program is that it is offered up virtually. We offer this quarterly in October, December, April, and July. And our next program, that will be in October, is always provided by our DAPS member who is also a nutritionist with her own private practice that specifically focuses on Parkinson's disease. What makes Faye so unique is that she has been dealing with Parkinson's herself for 14 years, in addition to her background and experience as a nutritionist. So each quarter, she brings in a different topic. So for instance, in July, she brought in a topic around hydration and heat. During the holiday months, she talks a lot about sugars and how to manage some of those wonderful treats that we all like, but how we can still take advantage of those, even if also dealing with Parkinson's. So again, this is open to anyone and everyone. So we certainly encourage folks to join us on Friday, October 11th, virtually. I mentioned that the only known treatment that has been proven to slow the progression of Parkinson's is exercise. And so DAPS takes that very seriously. And we do so by providing a lot of exercise classes throughout the community. So I want to show you some of the locations and some of the types of exercises that we offer. So all of our exercise instructors have gone through a program called Move, Laugh, Connect. This is not just a physical exercise, but it also incorporates social and cognitive skills as well. So it's very comprehensive so that folks can, one, get to know the people that they're exercising with, work on balance, work on flexibility, work on all of those different skills while they are also sharpening those mental habits and, of course, also building those relationships with others. We offer classes, 17 classes every single week. Those are virtually and those are in person. And you can see a full list of all of those on our website at daps.org so that you can see what's closest to you. Our newly relaunched Dance for PD class just started on Monday, September 9th. That is also open to the public. That is happening on Mondays at 12:30 at Westminster Presbyterian Church. This is actually led by a certified Dance for Parkinson's instructor. So it has a slightly different spin, but it is very popular, and we're really excited to be able to bring that back. And then lastly, we are also in the very beginning stages of creating a non-contact boxing class that will actually be developed by Dr. Mike Rach. He is a physical therapist that has done a lot of research and practical experience as well as a physical therapist into the field of non-contact boxing, but specifically the benefits for people with Parkinson's. So we are working closely with him and hope to have that up and available to the community in early 2025. The other opportunity that we offer are speech and swallowing support classes. Although DAPS is not a clinical organization in terms of providing clinical services, we do provide all of the complementary and supplemental services that really make us a comprehensive organization, so that once someone has completed their physical therapy or their speech therapy, we make sure that those classes to keep supporting those good habits can still be accomplished and still be attended throughout the Metroplex. So what we've done is we've conveniently tried to make sure that both our exercise classes and our speech classes are back to back. We know that getting out can sometimes be challenging, and so we want to make access to these free classes as easy as possible. So when someone goes to a class, they can make sure that they can stay after and also attend a support group or a speech support group as well. Furthermore, all of our speech instructors are LSVT certified. Several of them have their own private practice as well. And so some folks who their doctor has written them a prescription to go and get speech therapy, those are some folks that are available as well. We also offer hybrid in-person and virtual options. This has really turned out to be especially helpful for folks that are in more advanced stages, or even for folks that are just not having a great day. It's too hard to get out. We make it as easy as possible for folks to connect. And our online instructors, who are also in-person instructors, are very well equipped in ensuring that they can provide that community with that connection and really good leadership as well. And then lastly, we also are providing support groups. So our support groups are also available throughout the North Texas area. We have several care partner support groups. You can see here we have several that are in person, and we also have a virtual care partner group. That next one will actually be held next Friday at this time, virtually. All of those are led also by licensed counselors or therapists. And so that way we provide facilitators to make sure that everyone has a chance to connect, everyone has a chance to speak, and make sure that they're getting all of those resources and the support that they're specifically looking for. We also provide a PD support group. We have an in-person support group, and we also have a virtual support group that's available as well. And again, all of those are available to all of our folks throughout the Metroplex. So our local opportunities for people to become engaged with DAPS are, you can see here, all the different cities that we reach. All of these can certainly be accessed very easily, and you can find the exact addresses on the website as well. And then lastly, we just want to make sure that you know where we are, how you can get in touch with us, and how we can help you out. So we are easily located in North Dallas. Our brand new office that we're moving into is actually right at the corner of Preston and LBJ. Of course, our website and our email address is available as well. So I think lastly, we just like to make sure that folks know that, as we mentioned, if you're calling for the first time and you're looking for resources, whether that's an assisted living facility, whether you're looking for a physical therapist, whether you're looking for transportation or medication assistance needs, we have an ongoing information and referral package that we are constantly updating to ensure that you have access and you have resources without having to do all the legwork yourself. So we certainly encourage folks to reach out to us so that we can always provide you with the most updated and best resources that are available.
Thank you so much, Leisha. This is such an excellent range of resources that you all are providing. I am going to open this for questions and comments, but I did see Hillary Byatt, who is from the Parkinson Voice Project, raise her hand a while ago. So Hillary, did you have a question or comment? Okay, maybe, can you hear us, Hillary?
Oh,
Oh, okay, that was a mistake. Okay, moving on. We had a couple of questions here from one of our participants. They wanted to ask about speech pathologists using AI. I wasn't sure about. Can you read that comment, Leisha?
Sure, let me see here.
The Broca's and Wernicke's area. So I was just wondering if they use anything to see it light up when they're doing speech pathology.
That is a great question. I am not aware of that. I'm not aware of that, so I certainly don't want to speak outside of my area of expertise. Yeah, I'm not aware of that, and maybe that's something that Hillary with the Voice Project might be able to chime into.
I'm sorry, could you explain what that question was regarding speech?
The Broca's and Wernicke's area is just the places that it processes in and out of speech versus if you're listening and you're using language. So those parts of the brain, if they're affected by Parkinson's or something else, that's why I was just asking if they were watching the area.
Okay.
Well, you know what, we can also have this question routed to, some of our speech pathologists and experts, that are also our community partners, and, we can take that offline. So, Ms. Pearson, we can definitely, have this question answered for you separately. I wanted to talk, Alicia, about, I saw just such a range of resources and in different parts of the DFW area. You're offering a lot of virtual resources, and that's something we get a lot from our families. Can I get something close to home? Think questions like that. And if you could speak a little bit more specifically about all of the areas that you're covering, and how you're able to spread your resources across the DFW area, that would be helpful.
Sure, great question. Sure. So what we've really tried to do is identify where the demand is and where there might be a gap in services. So we are in Denton, Collin, and Dallas County, and the locations that we choose are primarily based on churches that partner with us or YMCA, such as the Simonis YMCA, that offer us a free space so that way DAPS can come in and we have contract exercise instructors or speech therapists that we're able to contract with, and they go to those specific locations. So like I said, a lot of that depends on availability, accessibility, and a lot of coordination on our end, just to ensure that those times that are available are conducive for our attendees, for our members, so that it's easy to get to, so that it's a safe location. And as I mentioned, so that folks can get the most comprehensive services possible when they do attend one of our classes. We want to make sure that people feel that they've got the resources that they need, so that they can continue to live well with Parkinson's.
Mm-hmm.
And then in terms of, you mentioned the virtual aspect, just the other day, we get a lot of comments from our members about how much they love our classes, and our exercise instructors are really, they just do a fantastic job and have additional experience, of course, with Parkinson's. But one of my favorite stories is actually from one of our members that started at our McKinney location, and she was very involved actively in person. So was attending all of our classes, but she and her family moved to California a couple of years ago, right after the pandemic. And she has continued seamlessly with all of our speech support groups, our exercise groups, and even our PD support groups that are available. And so she has just reached out to us regularly and says, I'm so glad that I can still see my friends, that I still have those instructors that are available. So for some folks, we find that it's nice having that transition. We know that a lot of folks are hesitant, understandably, to actually take that first step. And so virtual can also be a nice way for folks to kind of dip their toe in the water to really see what this is all about. And so we really want to make sure that wherever people are on the journey, that we are there to meet them wherever that place might be.
Thank you. Thank you. Are there any?
I've got a quick question, Anupa.
Yes.
This is Beth. Just about the location, the Preston Road location, is this 12900 Preston Road, Suite 320. Is that the new location you were talking about, or is that?
Great question. Great question. That is actually our office space. And so we plan to open that location up to some of our support groups, but that won't really happen until 2025. Our new Dallas location is at Westminster Presbyterian Church. It is on Devonshire, close to Lover's Lane. And that's where our Dance for Parkinson's class is taking place on Mondays at 12:30. So that's our newest Dallas location.
Okay, thank you.
Sure, good question. I'm glad you clarified that. And Anupa, I'm not quite able to see the chat, so I don't know if you might be able to let me know if there's anything I might be missing.
Yeah, there was a question about exercise that I'm going to forward to you that came to me directly, but also it was really about how to convince and motivate someone with Parkinson's to exercise and, those kind of issues that do come up. So I'm going to copy that to you here right now, so you can also read through it and answer.
Right.
But I am really excited, Leisha, about both the Dance for PD and the non-contact boxing, the series that you're going to start with, Dr. Bryish. I think those will be super helpful, because we hear that from our families all the time, that they would like more and more of those kinds of resources. So.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. We were understand that Dr. Brach is now the professor of physical therapy at Texas Women's University. And so we're excited that he is still willing to continue the work with DAPS, so that he can train our instructors to make sure we still have those services available.
That's Dr. Mike that we're talking about, right?
That's correct. Yes, Dr. Mike Brach. Yes. So most of you are probably really familiar with him, who owned Tribe Wellness. He is also another member of our medical advisory board. And as you probably all know, that a lot of his research with people with Parkinson's and non-contact boxing was actually through UT Southwestern. And so we're just so glad to be able to help facilitate those services more to the community, and are really looking forward to making that happen.
And where is that supposed to take place again?
So that will take place at our Preston Hollow location, which is on Walnut Hill at Preston Hollow United Methodist Church. It's on Walnut Hill, in between Hillcrest and Preston. And that's where we have a lot of our educational series. We also have our exercise support groups. So that's where the non-contact boxing will take place. I think just going back to the question about how to motivate a loved one who is not wanting to participate in exercise. I would say that's one of the most common issues that we hear. So we take a couple of different approaches with that. As I mentioned just a minute ago, we certainly encourage people to consider looking into some of those virtual options. That gives people an opportunity to turn off their video or to turn off the audio. If folks would prefer just to observe and watch from a distance, sometimes that makes it a little bit easier to take that first step. The other ways that we really encourage people is to sign up for our newsletter and to become engaged and read some of the articles that some of our sponsors and some of our medical advisory board members share through our newsletter, but also through social media. That helps people, I think, to better understand and learn the importance, just from a cognitive perspective, that sometimes gives people that extra encouragement to take that step to begin a more regular exercise regimen. Keisha, I'd like to turn this over to you because Keisha does a fabulous job through our social media, because she very deliberately identifies the most new treatments, surveys, and research around whether it's exercise or whether it's just around mental health. So she does a really nice job of that through the DAPS social media sites. So maybe you can speak a little bit to some of that material that you share with the community to help them really understand the importance of different types of treatment.
Yeah, so in addition to running all of the events for DAPS, I also handle all of the social media for DAPS. And so when I'm not planning an event, I am scouring the internet, looking at different articles, looking for things that might interest our members, whether it be directly about Parkinson's or about caregiving, or about exercise. I just do my best with trying to provide some interesting information about what's going on out there about Parkinson's or anything related remotely to Parkinson's, that will be impactful to our community. So I try to make it interesting, like I said. I try to make it engaging, and I try to provide as much information as possible. And I try to get you to click too, so that you'll read the article and know what's going on with the latest information regarding Parkinson's. So today I posted a flyer from one of our high school students who decided her grandfather had Parkinson's, and she decided she's going to create a music therapy program, a free music therapy program. So I highlighted that and I sent it out to all of our followers. And so, like I said, I just try to make things engaging and interesting and fun so that you'll click on, know what's going on, and want to engage with DAPS.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank you, Keisha. That's really helpful too. And I know I follow you on all the social media, but you know,
that's wonderful.
We'll encourage our families to do the same.
That's wonderful. That's what I love to hear that. I love to hear that because I do put time and energy and effort into finding articles that I think that our community will enjoy. So I really appreciate that.
Okay, while we're discussing here, I would urge all of you to go to our feedback form that I provided in the chat as well and give us feedback about this presentation. You know, it's only your feedback and your input that makes, you know, more of these presentations possible. So I hope that you'll be able to provide us feedback as this event is ongoing.
I don't know where to find that. Anup, I guess you'll send us one, right?
Well, I'll send you one later on as well. But, you know, we've been having some issues with getting feedback.
You said in the chat?
Yes, in the chat, yes.
Is that one of those things on the bottom? Oh, I see. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry.
Somebody asked, how do you sign up for the DAPS newsletter?
Yes, and I apologize. I'm just now getting to the chat. Great question. We try to make that very easy. You can just go to DAPS.org, and literally that first page, there will be an option that says sign up for the DAPS newsletter. And that way you will get all of the information about upcoming events and classes. You will get all of that information. Thank you, Keisha. She's shared that in the chat.
A quick question about, we live up north of Dallas in Highland Village, Flower Mound. I have not researched anything in the Denton location that you mentioned. What kind of things do they do
I'm
in your satellite places?
so glad you mentioned that. Actually, just 2 years ago, we started our monthly educational series in Denton, which is at the Denton Senior Center. So once a month, we are providing lunch, camaraderie, and of course, education. But we've just added a new exercise class at our Carrollton location. Now, I know that's not terribly close, but our Denton folks have said that it's a pretty easy drive.
Yeah.
Okay, so our Carrollton location is at Grace Lutheran Church. So it's right off of 121 in Hebron. And so what we've done is we have our speech support group at 11:15. And then immediately following that, we have an exercise class that's really kind of yoga based. So there's a lot of stretching. Our exercise instructor has got lots of background in working with neurological conditions. So you learn a lot from Skyla's class. So a lot of folks are coming into the Carrollton location so that way they can attend both the support group, the speech support group, and then of course the exercise group. And that's on Wednesdays, starts at 11:15 and then followed by exercise at 12:30.
Thank you.
Okay, are there any more questions, comments, thoughts that anyone would like to share?
I do see a question about do they swing dance? Now, that's a great question. Our first class with our dancing for PD, there was not swing dancing involved. Now, I don't know if that might be a part of the curriculum. Our instructor has definitely been certified through the internationally renowned Dance for PD program. So that might be later on in the curriculum, but I can say that it was a lot of fun and people of all stages in the disease participated. We had a couple of people that were in wheelchairs and some that were using walkers, and the instructor just did a beautiful job of making sure there were a lot of safe opportunities for people to still become engaged and participate.
Well, we will be happy to, circulate this information to our Total Care Program participants, as well as, provide this information to our clinic to share it with our UT Southwestern patients. So we'll definitely do that here, Leisha. Are there any more questions? The purpose of these deep dives is really to bring all of these excellent resources that we have locally as well as nationally to our patients and families. And we really appreciate your feedback. So do provide feedback. Our next event is going to be an in-person community series event right here on our Dallas campus with the Parkinson Voice Project. It is on October 4th in the afternoon. I will circulate information about that as well. Okay, seems like we don't have additional questions. Okay. Leisha and Keisha, would you want to add something before we end the program?
I think the last thing would really just be our symposium that is on Saturday, October 5th. And we would absolutely love to see you there. It's really a great place to leave feeling like you've got more knowledge, feeling empowered, feeling inspired. Keisha, anything else that you might like to add to the symposium coming up?
I don't think so. I think you said it. We, worked hard on finding some of the best speakers I think, that we could provide. We've got just an amazing lineup, I think. For those familiar with Dr. Mike, he's going to close us out for the symposium. So we're excited to have him and have him see some of his students again. I just think it's just going to be a day of I keep reiterating fun, because that's what I try to incorporate every single time that I interact with our members. But it's just a day of
On the 5th.
fun and information, and most of all, community.
An adventure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Leisha and Keisha. The symposium looks great. The Total Care program is going to be there. So please join everyone. I see there are a couple of our UT Southwestern folks there as well. So, I think it'll be amazing, and I look forward to attending. Thank you so much for your time. I will send out a follow-up email with some of this information in the email as well. Please take some time to provide us feedback. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.